Welcome to the Smart Keys podcast. If there is one universal, undeniable truth in the world of digital marketing right now, it is that the beast needs to be fed.
And the beast is hungry.
It is ravenous. I was talking to a founder the other day who said, running a brand used to feel like being a movie director. You'd spend months planning that one perfect hero commercial.
Now you're a short order cook.
Exactly, during the lunch rush.
That is a painfully accurate analogy. The days of, resting on your laurels because you shipped one great campaign in Q1 are effectively gone. The sheer volume of video content required just to stay relevant.
Not even to dominate, just to stay visible.
Right, just visible on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. It's staggering.
It's insatiable, and that creates a massive structural problem for lean teams. I mean, if you are a small marketing department or maybe a solo founder, how on earth do you compete with the giants who have full production studios in-house?
You can't.
You can't manually film 5 new videos a day. You'd burn out in a week.
Exactly, and that burnout is what we're addressing today. We are doing a deep dive into a really comprehensive review by Felix Römer from smartkeys.org. He breaks down a platform called Creatify.
And the promise of Creatify is bold. It claims to take that entire messy production, workflow scripting, casting, filming, editing, and just poof, compress it into a few clicks using AI.
Right. But what makes Felix's review so interesting isn't just the cool gadget factor. He's looking at this through the lens of business strategy. This isn't just about making a funny video.
Right.
It's about the future of work when it comes to asset production. It's about moving from page to publish in minutes.
Page to publish. Like that framing. So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out if this tool actually delivers on that promise. We're going to dissect how it turns product links into ads. We'll look at this thing called batch mode.
Which is the real game changer.
Yeah, that sounds like it. And crucially, where the human element still needs to step in.
Because spoiler alert, AI is an accelerator, not a magician.
Okay, let's unpack the core functionality first. The review describes it as almost a magic trick. You take a URL and you get a video. Walk us through what is actually happening under the hood there.
It's essentially a very sophisticated extraction and synthesis engine. Let's say you have a Shopify store selling a new line of ergonomic running shoes.
Oh, yeah.
You grab that product URL and you paste it into Creatify.
So I don't need to upload a folder of images or anything.
No, that's the friction point it removes. The tool scrapes the page. It pulls the product title, the description text, the price, the features, and most importantly, the existing imagery you have on the site.
It's reading the site to understand what you're selling.
It's analyzing the semantic context of the page. Precisely. Then it uses AI to generate a script based on that information. It matches the script with the images it pulled, and then, and this is a layer that usually costs the most time and money, it layers on an AI avatar to present that script.
And this brings up the concept of the good enough revolution. Because I imagine a cinematographer listening to this is just cringing. They're thinking about lighting, depth of field, color grading.
Right.
But we aren't trying to win an Oscar here, are we?
No, and that's a critical distinction the source material makes. Creatify is trusted by over 1 million brands now, with hundreds of reviews on G2. And the consensus is that for the modern social feed, you don't need cinema quality.
In fact, sometimes it hurts you.
It can, yeah. Sometimes cinema quality looks too much like an ad and people scroll right past it.
That's so true. On TikTok, if it looks too polished, my thumb automatically swipes up. I want to see something that looks native.
Exactly. You need speed and you need consistency. The review breaks down the workflow into 5 steps, and it highlights how streamlined this is. Step 1, as we mentioned, add the product URL.
Right.
Step 2 is picking your platform specs.
Which seems basic, but is actually a huge time saver.
Oh, it is. If you've ever tried to manually recrop a landscape video for a vertical TikTok feed and realized you cut off the product, you know the pain. Creatify lets you set the aspect ratio 9.16 vertical, 1.1 square right up front.
And step 3 involves selecting the script and the angle. I thought this was interesting because it forces the marketer to actually be a marketer. You don't just say make a video. You have to tell it the intent.
Yes, the angle is key. The AI gives you options. Do you want a how-to video, a brand story, or maybe a problem-solution hook?
Give us an example of how that changes the output.
Okay, take those running shoes. If you choose brand story, the script might focus on the heritage of the design or the sustainable materials. It's emotional.
Okay.
But if you choose problem solution, the script opens with, are your knees killing you after a 5K? Here is why.
Right. Same product, totally different psychological trigger.
Exactly. And the strategic marketer knows which one to pull. If you're selling a stain remover, problem solution is your best bet. If you're selling luxury jewelry, brand story is likely the winner.
Step 4 is choosing the avatar, which we will definitely get to in a moment because that is a deep rabbit hole. And then step 5 is editor tweaks. But before we get there, there's a specific warning in the review about the quality of the input.
Yes. Garbage in, garbage out. It's the oldest rule in computing, but it totally applies here. The review notes specifically. If your product page is sparse, enrich it first.
So if my website just has one blurry photo and a description that says nice shoes, the AI can't just hallucinate a masterpiece for me.
It can't save you from a bad foundation. No, it can only work with the data you give it. If the AI doesn't know the shoes are waterproof because you didn't write it on the landing page, the video won't mention it.
So the practical tip here is, before you even sign up for the tool, audit your own house. Make sure the landing page is rich.
Absolutely. The AI is a multiplier. If you multiply 0, you still get 0.
Let's talk about the face of the brand, the avatars. This seems to be the feature that stops the scroll, but it's also the one people are most skeptical about. The uncanny valley, where it looks almost human but slightly off, that's a real fear. How does Creatify handle that?
The review is pretty favorable here. It notes that for short, fast-paced ads, think 15 to 30 seconds, the technology has kind of crossed the threshold. The lip sync quality is praised. You have to remember the context. On a small phone screen, while you're doom scrolling, your brain isn't analyzing the micro expressions of the eyes.
You just accept it as a person long enough to hear the hook.
Exactly. It accepts the avatar as a messenger. But there is a feature here that I think is massive for founders specifically, the custom avatar.
This is the digital twin concept, right?
Right. Imagine you are the face of your brand. Usually that means every time you want to run a sale or announce a feature, you are the bottleneck. You have to set up lights, get the microphone, do your hair, record 10 takes because you flubbed the line.
I know that pain well. And then the lighting is different than the last video. The audio sounds different. It's a mess.
With a custom avatar, you do that setup once, you train the AI on your face and voice. Then next week or next month, when you need a new ad, you just type the text, and Digital You speaks it perfectly.
That is wildly efficient. They basically decouples your time from your output. But are there limitations? The review mentioned something about languages.
It did, and this is a nuance that really matters for global brands. The review points out that for major languages, English, French, German, Italian, the results are very, very natural.
Okay.
But if you are targeting smaller language markets, the review specifically mentions Croatian or Slovenian, it might sound a bit robotic or less genuine.
So the pro tip is always preview the voice before you commit to rendering 1,000 videos.
100%. Don't just assume it works in every dialect. You'll burn through your credits.
Beyond the face, the tool also lets you control the vibe. The review mentions tone control. You can choose Gen Z casual or motivational. Why does that matter?
It's all about context collapse. A motivational speech might work on LinkedIn, but on TikTok, you probably want Gen Z casual.
Yeah.
If you sound like a corporate brochure on TikTok, you're dead in the water.
Yeah, you're done.
The platform dictates the tone, and Creatify lets you toggle that without rewriting the script yourself.
Okay, I want to pivot to what the expert in the source material calls the killer feature.
Yeah.
Because up until now, we've talked about making a video. But the real power seems to be in making many videos.
Yes. This is where we shift from content creation to content strategy. It's called batch mode.
A batch mode. Tell us why this is the unlock.
Because in modern advertising, you don't actually know what is going to work. You might think the audience cares about the comfort of the shoes, but maybe they actually respond to the durability.
Right.
Traditionally, to test that, you'd have to shoot 2 different commercials. That's expensive.
So you just guess. You pick one, and you hope for the best.
Exactly. You bet the farm on one idea. With batch mode, the review explains you can generate 20+ variations at once. You can take the same product, but tell the AI, give me 5 different hooks, 3 different avatars, and 2 different music tracks.
And you click one button.
You click a button, and you have 30 unique assets to test. This allows for what they call apples-to-apples testing.
This is the scientific method applied to creativity.
It is. You can isolate variables. Is it the script that's not working, or is it the face? If you run the same script with a male avatar versus a female avatar, and one converts at double the rate, you've learned something huge about your audience.
Something you couldn't have afforded to learn before.
Right. And the speed-to-asset ratio here is just incomparable. The review compares it to hiring an editor. If you hire a freelancer, you're paying for their time, and you might get the first draft in 3 days.
If you're lucky.
Here, you're paying in credits, which is the pricing model, but you get the draft in 3 minutes. You can iterate before the freelancer would have even opened the email.
Speaking of editing, let's touch on the editor itself. We need to be realistic here. Is this replacing Adobe Premiere?
No. And to be fair, it's not trying to. The review notes that the built-in editor is simple. It's designed for speed trimming, captions, music, simple overlays.
So there is a catch.
There's always a catch. If you are trying to do complex compositing, color grading, or cinematic transitions, this is not the tool. The review also notes that users have reported some timeline lag if the project gets too big.
So don't try to edit a documentary in Creatify.
Please don't. Use it for what it's built for: fast, punchy social ads.
This brings us to a really important distinction the source makes. It's about the difference between production and performance.
This is the insider analysis part of our deep dive. Creatify is a production engine. It generates content. But as the expert points out, it won't tell you why an ad converted.
Huh.
It just makes the file.
So you have the asset, but you don't necessarily have the insight.
Correct. You end up with 50 videos, but which one is good? This is where the review suggests a tech stack approach. You don't just use one tool, you integrate.
The review mentions 2 other tools specifically, Best Ever and Arcads. How do these fit into the puzzle?
So imagine the workflow. You use Creatify for the heavy lifting, the batch mode creation of 50 test ads. You ship those to Facebook or TikTok. Then you use a tool like Best Ever for the analytics.
Best Ever is the scorecard.
Right. Best Ever analyzes the creative elements. It tells you, hey, the ads with the blue background are performing 20% better, or the ads where the avatar smiles in the first second are winning. It gives you the why.
I see. So Creatify builds the car, but Best Ever tells you how to drive it.
That's a great analogy. And then there's Arcads. The review suggests using Arcads when you need higher polish or a more specific UGC, user-generated content style that Creatify might not fully hit.
So the strategy is Creatify for bulk and testing, Best Ever for analysis. Arcads are manual editing for your hero assets, the winners.
Precisely. It's a funnel. You start wide with Creatify, find the winner, analyze it with Best Ever, and then maybe you spend the big bucks to polish that winning concept into a flagship ad.
That makes so much sense. It stops you from wasting money polishing a turd, if I can say that.
You can, and it's valid. Why spend $5,000 shooting a commercial if you don't even know if the script resonates? Test the script with an AI avatar first for $50. If it converts, then hire the actors.
So looking at the big picture here, what does this mean for the future of our listeners' jobs?
Yeah.
If you're a marketer listening to this, are you being replaced by a robot?
No, but your role is fundamentally changing. The review touches on this forward-looking conclusion. We are moving toward a model where humans are directors of AI, not manual creators of every frame.
You're the conductor, not the violin player.
Yes. Your value isn't in how fast you can cut a video in Premiere anymore. Your value is in your taste, your strategy, and your ability to interpret the data. You need to know which inputs to give the AI.
The vision.
The AI can execute the vision, but it can't have the vision.
That's empowering, actually. It removes the grunt work and leaves the strategy. So let's leave the listeners with some practical takeaways. If they want to try this out effectively based on the source, what should they do first?
First practical takeaway. Audit your product pages. Before you even sign up for a trial, go to your Shopify or Amazon page. Are the photos high-res? Is the description clear? If not, fix that first. The AI needs fuel.
Second tip.
Preview everything. We touched on this, but it's crucial. It costs credits to render the final video. Don't waste money on a video where the avatar mispronounces your brand name or sounds like a robot. Check it first.
And finally,
adopt the hybrid model. Don't think of this as AI versus humans. Use Creatify for the grunt work, the testing, the routine updates. Save your human creative energy and your budget for the big emotional storytelling pieces that AI still struggles with.
I love that. It's about leverage.
It is. And here is a final provocative thought to chew on. The review suggests that in this new world, the competitive advantage is no longer who can make the best looking video.
It's not. That feels counterintuitive.
It's not about the pixels anymore. The advantage belongs to whoever can learn the fastest. If you can ship 20 ads a week and I can only ship 2, you will learn what works 10 times faster than me. Eventually, your ads will outperform mine, even if mine look prettier.
Wow.
Speed of iteration is the new quality.
Ship assets fast, then let analytics tell you which ones to scale. That is a powerful place to leave it.
It's the new reality.
Well, a huge thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Smart Keys podcast today. We hope this deep dive helps you navigate the crazy world of AI video.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be building.
If you found this useful, please make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss our next deep dive into the future of work. And hey, if you want to see the full breakdown, check the show notes. We've linked the full review of Creatify by Felix Römer on smartkeys.org. It's worth a read.
Definitely check it out.
Until next time, keep learning.
And keep testing.